In today's video, we are going on a very big journey. We are going to witness 4.6 billion years of history in just 30 minutes. Yes, you heard that absolutely right. We will see how, between fire, boiling lava, and collisions in space, our Earth was born. After that, we will move into the era when dinosaurs ruled, and then we will witness their terrifying end. The story will not end there. We'll learn how tiny creatures became the ancestors of humans, and how we spread out of Africa across the entire world. And at the end of the video, we will walk through the streets of the Indus Valley. This mystery still remains an unsolved puzzle. If you like watching research-based documentaries like this, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, because making such videos takes a lot of effort and time. Now just imagine the Earth 1.5 billion years ago, where there was silence everywhere. Footsteps, no animals, and no humans. The beautiful Earth of today was once like a burning ball of fire. Volcanoes were erupting everywhere. Red lava was flowing like rivers, and the sky was filled only with smoke and ash. There was no sign of rain. It was a world ruled by fire and storms. Then for millions of years, a rain fell that cooled this burning land. It rained so much that massive oceans were formed. But even then, breathing here was impossible because the air contained only poisonous gases. There was no oxygen at all. And then, in the depths of those oceans, a miracle happened. Life began for the first time. Tiny microorganisms started to grow in the water. Among these small organisms, some slowly began producing oxygen, and this was the turning point that changed the face of the Earth. The air started becoming cleaner. Plants began to grow. Dense forests formed, and the world slowly became livable. And then, millions of years later, the time came when those gigantic creatures stepped onto Earth that we called dinosaurs. Around 230 million years ago, during the Triassic period, the first dinosaurs appeared. You will be surprised to know that in the beginning, they were very small, perhaps the size of a fox. They were very agile and hunted by running fast. But slowly, nature showed its game. Over millions of years, the size, strength, and structure of dinosaurs began to change. Some became completely herbivorous and developed gigantic bodies to feed from tall trees. Others became dangerous predators with sharp claws and saw-like teeth. As time passed, the empire of dinosaurs spread across the entire Earth. From dense forests to high mountains, they ruled everywhere. They had everything they needed to thrive: plenty of food, open spaces, and power. Nature gave them everything. But friends, now a big twist was coming in the story. Slowly, dinosaurs became the uncrowned kings of Earth, just like humans today. But remember, this was only the trailer, because in the coming time, these creatures would grow so large, and their world would become so mysterious that no one could have imagined it. Earth was moving toward a great change. As time passed, those small dinosaurs gradually became mountain-sized giants. The forests were reaching new heights, and so were the dinosaurs. It was truly the age of giants. During the Jurassic period, some dinosaurs broke all records of size. One famous name among them was Brachiosaurus, about 85 feet long and weighing more than 40 tons. Just imagine, it must have looked like a moving palace. But the story does not end there. Just when it seemed Brachiosaurus was the biggest, Titanosaurus appeared. It was so massive that if it lay down in a field, an entire football ground could disappear beneath its body. Their necks were so long that they could pluck leaves from the tops of the tallest trees, just like someone today picking fruit from the window of a 10-story building. Their enormous size was not an accident. It was a special strategy to protect themselves from predators and to feed from tall trees. Now imagine a silent forest, and from afar, the echo of Titanosaurus' footsteps can be heard. It felt as if the Earth itself was beating. With each step, the ground trembled and clouds of dust rose. It was the golden era of these powerful creatures. But friends, every golden era comes to an end. Around 65 million years ago, tearing through the silence of space, uninvited guest was rapidly moving toward Earth. It was a massive asteroid, about 10 to 15 kilometers wide, and it was about to change Earth's destiny forever. This asteroid was no ordinary rock. It was traveling at nearly 70,000 kilometers per hour. So fast that if you could see it in the sky, everything would be over in the blink of an eye. And then came a massive explosion. The asteroid struck near the coast of Mexico. The moment it hit, everything within thousands of kilometers was burned to ashes. The entire Earth shook. Massive waves rose in the oceans, tsunamis that no one could stop. Forests, mountains, rivers, everything was destroyed. The lands where dinosaurs once roamed freely, where their young once played, turned into a ball of fire. The dinosaurs who were kings yesterday were now helpless. Some perished instantly in the explosion, and those who survived initially were killed by the coming darkness, hunger, and freezing cold. Leaves fell from trees, flowers dried up, smoke and ash covered the sky for months. Sunlight stopped reaching the earth. A silence spread across the world, as if life itself had surrendered. Scientists say that day was the most tragic time Earth had ever seen. The dinosaurs who ruled for millions of years were ultimately helpless before a rock from space. But friends, this was not the end of the story. Here comes a big twist. After months, when the ash and darkness cleared, Earth breathed again. The world had completely changed. There was peace and cold, and most importantly, the giant and dangerous predators were gone. Nature's stage was empty, and a new era was about to begin. And friends, this is where the age of mammals began. The small, mouse-like creatures that had hidden in fear of dinosaurs began to come out. Slowly, the climate improved, the cold reduced, and Earth filled with greenery once again. This new environment gave these creatures a chance to thrive. Some started living in trees, others began running on the ground. In search of food, both their bodies and brains began to grow. During this time, in the dense forests of Africa, primates appeared. These were the same creatures that would later become monkeys, gorillas, and the ancestors of humans. Around 25 million years ago, Africa's geography began to change. Mountains rose higher, and the climate became cooler. Dense forests began to shrink, and vast grasslands spread far and wide. Creatures living in trees had to come down in search of food, and here began a revolutionary change, standing upright and walking on two legs. This is called bipedal walking, and it was our first step toward becoming human. Time passed, and around 300,000 years ago, in East Africa, a unique species was born, Homo sapiens, that is, humans. But remember one thing, at that time, we were not alone on Earth. There were other species similar to us, such as Homo erectus, who could stand upright, and Homo habilis, who were learning to make stone tools. But among all of them, Homo sapiens were special. Why? Because their brains were larger and sharper than the others. We could not only see, but also imagine, think, and plan. Our bodies were fit for hunting, running fast, tolerating heat, and gripping strongly with our hands. Our eyes were sharp enough to detect danger hidden in bushes within moments. From here, humans began the game with nature that would one day make them masters of the world. In those early days, Homo sapiens had no fixed home. They lived in dense forests and took shelter in caves at night. They had no permanent houses. Their life was simply searching for food all day and sitting by the fire at night to protect themselves from wild animals in the cold. They lived in small groups of 10 to 20 people, like families who moved together, ate together, and fought enemies together. Each member had a role. Some hunted, some gathered fruits and roots, and others took care of children. At that time, there was no language, no religion, no law, no king, and no God. There were only three things: hunger, fear of death, and the stubborn will to survive. This determination showed them new paths, learned to sharpen stones into weapons, made pointed spears from wood, and developed strategies to defeat large animals. It was the beginning of a journey that would take them out of Africa and make them rulers of the world. At that time, humans were completely hunters. There were only two ways to fill the stomach: hunt, or gather something edible from the forest. As soon as the sun rose, the only concern was what food would be found that day. Hunting was not a game. Wild animals were agile and dangerous. Dense forests and danger at every step. Sometimes nothing was found for 3 days straight. Women and children often gathered roots and fruits, while men tried to hunt using stone tools and traps. The forest had one strict rule: an isolated human meant death. They knew well that survival required unity. This harsh life taught them a lot. They began observing carefully, listening attentively, and understanding details. They learned which animal used which path, which plant was poisonous, and which cave was safe. Though dangerous, this life had a certain peace. Slowly, these hunters were not just chasing animals, but gathering knowledge and experience. The forest became their school. Then came the time scientists call the cognitive revolution, a big explosion of thinking power. Now humans could think not only about what existed, but also about things that did not. They could plan for the future and imagine. Most importantly, they could communicate. This is where language was born. Now humans did not just scream in fear, but could explain clearly with words and gestures. If someone saw a lion in the bushes, he could say clearly, "Be careful, a big lion is hiding there." Language changed everything. It became a way to express fear, love, anger, and dreams. And from here began another wonder stories. Humans began imagining things beyond reality. Magical forces on the moon, ancestor spirits in fire, gods becoming angry. These stories, though imaginary, united thousands of strangers. Other animals never formed groups larger than 50 or 60 because they did not know each other. But humans believed in shared stories, and thousands joined together, like standing for a flag or worshiping one god. This was the result of the thinking revolution. Around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens left East Africa to explore the outside world. They reached the Middle East first, then spread slowly into Asia, Europe, and Australia. This journey was not easy. The world was not empty. In Europe, powerful Neanderthals lived, and in Asia, Denisovans ruled. Homo sapiens were not the strongest physically, but they were the most organized and clever. They used fire, planned hunts, and settled in places where no one else could survive. Wherever humans went, large animals disappeared. Debate continues whether this expansion was progress or destruction. But humans adapted everywhere. Freezing Europe, burning deserts, mountains, jungles. Without GPS, maps, electricity, or modern medicine, they survived. That was their true superpower, adapting and never giving up. Later came the Ice Age, around 20,000 years ago. Temperatures dropped drastically, oceans froze, and much of the Earth was covered in ice. Humans survived by wearing animal skins, staying in caves, and using fire. After thousands of years, around 11,000 years ago, the ice melted. Rivers formed. Humans began settling permanently. They learned farming and domesticated animals. For the first time, they understood the meaning of home. With agriculture came free time. With free time came innovation. People made pottery, tools, jewelry. Then copper was discovered, a metal stronger than stone. Stone Age slowly ended. Societies became organized. Farmers, craftsmen, traders. Humans settled near rivers, realizing water was true gold. Great river valley civilizations were born Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates, where cities like Ur and Babylon rose, with ziggurats and the first writing and laws, and far away along the Indus River. The Indus Valley Civilization flourished in cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, straight roads, wells, bathrooms, and underground drainage systems. Yet no clear evidence of kings or wars has been found there. Society became structured. Leaders, kings, priests. Kings ruled not only by sword but by faith and stories. In Mesopotamia, kings called themselves sons of God. In Egypt, kings were considered gods. So friends, this journey of 4.6 billion years from burning lava to organized society has reached today. Our video ends here. If you have stayed with me until the last part of this journey, then definitely write your name in the comments. It would feel great to know who stayed with us till the end of this incredible journey.